Hello, people. Yes, this is going to be different. I was asked to do a guide to my star cards, which ones I use for each hero. So, welcome to my comprehensive guide on how to, well, not how to, but what star cards I like to use during dueling. This video is going to be 100% get copyrighted because of the music in the background and everything else. I'm going to just start from the top and go to the bottom. So first hero, Boba Fett. The star cards I use are Extended Exposure, Acute Concussion, and Focalize. Now, to be fair, Boba Fett has got a lot of good cards, but I use Extended Exposure because for the hunt, that extra 6 seconds can help you fly away really quick, because obviously when you use the middle ability, when you use For the Hunt, it allows you to have infinite jetpack fuel for a time, so that additional duration can be really helpful. The Acute Concussion, just giving that extra concussion bit to enemies for that extra 2 seconds can be really helpful in getting away. And Focalize, deal bonus damage at the center of an explosion in a 1 meter radius. If you can get up close and starts using that right at their feet, it is really easy to do like 400 damage. This is alright. This is alright. This one is actually really good, to be fair, quick refill. But when you're just doing a duel, I'd say these ones are quite good. Obviously, don't take my word for that one brilliantly. Bosk, I don't have every card actually unlocked yet, so the ones that I'm currently using are just the first 3. Name Your Poison's an absolute staple. You need to use this. What it does is, whilst you're inside the Doxis grenade, if you've got a guy with a lightsaber jumping on top of you, you throw that at the floor, it's healing you and doing damage to him. Trap arming speed is really good, because you can really quickly get like a bunch of traps down, and obviously the arm, look how much faster, 60% faster at full capacity, which then is just really helpful if you're about to get actually bummed by someone that's rushing you. Spreading the Disease, I've just got that because I haven't unlocked any others. I probably wouldn't recommend using that. The one I'm going to use is probably Multi-Traps. This one's going to be a lot more helpful for, whilst you're in like a duel scenario, because it just means you can get loads of traps down which will easily melt someone in seconds. So use this one, especially with the trap arming speed. It probably makes him really good. Next person, Chewbacca. I don't even play this character, so I can't say anything. So I've just got the bonus health, which is obviously something you really want, and the multi-shock, but I can't say anything about him. Vader's a good one, right? These are the things I use. I use bonus health. You just need that. That's about 1,100 HP when using the middle ability, which is broken. I like to use Punishing Grip because it gives you a lot more time to get extra hits in, more damage from the chokehold, and kind of gives you a second, like a little extra breather for after you've done something for someone. Then I just have Deflection Stamina for when I'm playing in any game modes with troop heroes or troops in general. This is a good one. Furious Resilience is probably a really good one to use when you're doing duels. Surrounded by Fear, not really. This one's not good for duels. This is better for Galactic Assault and Supremacy. These lot, same thing. It's just not. These lot aren't really good for duels. This one is. Right, this one's pretty good, but a lot of the time you're only going to really get one hit off, so I would use bonus health, Punishing Grip, and probably something like Furious Resilience or Deflection Sam. Obviously, you can disagree with me. Like, I'm not saying you need to follow it. Palpatine, can't say anything for him. Don't play him. Han, I like to use Broad Shoulders so I can get a nice bit of damage reduction when using the shoulder charge, because they can always give like a counter hit on you or start spamming at you, and it's good to have that extra HP. The Sharpshooter's Calm, with the less reduction per shot, is really good because it lets you melt people really quickly whilst getting to keep that Sharpshooter thing. Now, don't take my words for this, I haven't unlocked everything, obviously, but I also use Air Burst for that 20% extra damage increase, because a lot of the time, if you throw out the floor, the enemy troops aren't going to run into it, unless there's loads of people in one bit. But for duels, in Hero Showdown, this one's a really good one, because you can throw it and quickly blow it up and get that extra damage off, which is an easier, 200 damage, which can actually just stop the health regeneration really easily. Iden, don't play her, can't say. Kylo, I like to use Solid Freeze because I can get a bigger area of effects, obviously, as it says there, for anyone I'm going against. Thing is, stuff like this isn't good. Closing in's alright, but once again, if you're fighting another person, you don't really need to be that quick with it. Kind of the same with this one. In a duel scenario, you're not going to be close to the other teammate. So, yeah, I like to use Solid Freeze, so I've got less of a chance of missing. I use this one. You need Berserking Tantrum, right? That 20% decreased stamina drain is just broken. It obviously just means that you can be a lot more aggressive and not have to worry about accidentally getting caught out by anyone. Power Reach, yeah, sure, that one's alright. Wouldn't really use it though. Same thing with Harsh Pull. It's like the pull with Kylo, I feel, is a bit slow. People can be quite prepared for it. And as well, it kind of disadvantages Kylo sometimes because the player can go like too far behind you, and if you're not like really good and you can't quickly like time it perfectly to do a jump hit in the air to get him, then I wouldn't use that one. Bloodlust, dealing more damage with Frenzy attack. That's just peak. I mean, the Frenzy already does a stupid amount of damage. If that person's trying to counter hit you, that last hit's always going to hit, and that's going to do like 70 damage. Well, that's what it says it does, and that's like, this can do like 200, 300 damage if left alone. So this is just broken to use. That's why I like to use on Kylo. Lando, don't play him, can't say. Leia, don't really play her, so I can't say anything. But I'd really just use the shield thing for now. More base health is obviously quite good. Well, you know, can regenerate more base health. And this, for that damage reduction, whilst using the rapid fire thing, is good. But the grenades are rubbish, so I don't do anything like that. Luke, I like to use, in duels, I like to use Epicenter, because that bonus damage can be really good if they're close to you and you actually hit it, because that can do actually a lot of damage. It stops health regeneration, and can just do a nice little extra bit of damage to keep them like away. Deflection Mastery is obviously really good if you're playing in, like, you know, a trooper mode, but you're never really going to do that. Same thing with Intensify. Push, I did like to use Stronger Push, but the thing in duels is that this is only good if you're trying to knock someone off the map. If you're not, you're just going to send them flying and not be able to actually get to them in time to, you know, benefit off of the push. Rush Immunity, though, make more resistant to damage for 3 seconds. People always like to try and get hit on you after you use the dash. It also means if they can hit a force ability on you, it's going to save you an extra bit of health. Not a lot, obviously, but if you do 2 at once and go for like a little like few hits, it saves you a lot of health. Stronger Pulse, yeah, that's pretty alright for it. Extended Push, increase area of effects, probably quite good. I don't use it much. Jedi Reflexes, I was told to use this. I think this can be good. You know, 1 extra rush, but the recharge time is slightly increased. Like, I would use that, but I wanted to keep Jedi Fire. This is peak, right? You want this. You want this in nearly every time. Melee strikes and blasted deflections both drain less stam. So there's no point in getting this, really, because you have this. Extra melee strikes, you know, it's just peak. You can hit so much more and not have to worry. It's like the Kylo Ren one. Then we go for Maul, right? For Maul, this one is kind of tough because I kind of just picked loads of cards like ages ago and left it. These cards here, these two are not good for duels. They're not really going to be ever used unless if you're against like a blaster hero for that one. This one could be pretty good. I did used to use it, but I swapped it. And this one is actually probably really good. I don't know why I'm not using this one. But I like to use Forceful Thrust so I can just chuck on miles, because it's quite funny to do that sometimes. This one, increase area of effect. It already has a big enough area of effect. Like, it's massive. You really don't need that. Accelerated Throw to do more damage is really good because the blast, like the Saber Throw from Maul, comes off cooldown really quickly. And if you have it paired with something like this, you can do a hell of a lot of damage with that. Like, it's actually not that bad of a throw. Obviously not as good as Vader's, but it's still a good one. This one, obviously, only for any other mode, not good for duels. this one, flow motion, you kind of want this one because this helps a lot with, you know, going around, just trying to get quick movements, but this one's probably better for trooper modes. I'd say that if you're doing duels, you want Fool Me Once, Forceful Thrust, and Accelerated Throw. Or maybe Ranged Throw, that and that. So it's kind of mix and match from all, but these are the ones I like to use. Ray, I like to use Balance, so I can get that extra dodge ability. That's really helpful a lot of the time. It can help you get away from people really quickly. If you're out of stam. I mean, her stam already goes up like mad, so it doesn't even really matter. Farsight, rubbish, don't use that. Street Fighter, you want this, right? This one's actually quite good. Because it just means that every hit you do, you're keeping a lot of stam, which, as I've said with a lot of things before, is really helpful. And then Opportunist, yeah, sure. That actually bonus damage. If you can hit off a successful dash strike into the back of someone whilst they've got the mind trick, you are going to do so much damage, it's unbelievable. Like, that's an easy 300, 400 health, right? This one would be alright, but once again, this and this are much better for trooper modes. This one, you can, but it's like, you need to waste a lot of your force abilities just for one guy, just for 30% extra duration, so I wouldn't use it. Same thing with that, because you can already see them, and same thing with that. So really, in dueling modes, you want Opportunist, Street Fighter, and Balance, right? Those are going to be a lot better for you. Yoda, I don't play him, so I can't say. You probably want Enduring Presence, Unleashed, but I really can't say for it. This one, Opposing the Dark Side, is probably really good for duels, so I'd use this one though. But once again, I can't say anything because I don't have any of the cards. Then we go to Finn. Don't really play him, once again. But he's obviously just, in every way, better for trooper modes. You want stuff that helps people, like Beacon of Hope, In Charge, and no more running. Like, because this one's just nice in general. But yeah, so them ones if you want, but I wouldn't recommend really playing him unless you're in trooper modes. Phasma, I like Blaster Inspection, but that's once again only for if you're in, like, you know, trooper modes. She's a much more trooper character. Same thing with this. This is really good. 50% damage reduction whilst you have Survivor, which is extra health anyway, is broken. For dueling, I would reckon safety first, not hard enough. And, well, there aren't really any others that go well for it. But I'd probably say this one. Just simply because if you beat one guy and there's another person, then that one. Or, you know, maybe this one so that it's just better in general. But yeah, so... Or maybe this one. Yeah, actually, no, this one. This is probably a lot better. Thing is, I don't really use Phasma a lot. So... I'm going to say... Yeah, right, I'm going to sort this out quickly. More health. Increased staff damage. And then damage reduction. Obviously, she's much better for trooper modes, as I've said, but for duels, this is going to be so much better, right? So, I'd recommend just using this. That's if you want to play Phasma and be that person, but a lot of people hate it when you do. So, you know, I'd be careful with that, because you basically become immortal when you use Survivor with this. Who's next, then? Let's have a look. Grievous. Okay, I like this one, right? This one's obvious. Everyone knows what you use on Grievous. Beating Heart for the increased maximum health generation. He's already got 800 HP, so it's broken anyway. In trooper modes and in duels, Cowardly Retreat is always a good pick, that 90% reduction. And you already know Flesh is weak. Health regeneration speed halved. Beating Heart makes up for that anyway, so it doesn't even affect you. And in general, Flesh is weak is just good anyway, because it can mean that you can survive a lot longer when you're on low HP. If you want to do more trooper modes, I'd say probably, instead of Flesh is weak, line up weaklings, because I can do a hell of a lot more damage, right? This, yeah, I mean, these two are pretty useless, unless if you're in blaster modes again. This one, this is alright, if you prefer to be able to go from quite far away, but this and the more damage one, the amount of times you actually hit a Thrust Surge really isn't that much. And when you get into higher like level players, they know how to parry it like really easily. So there's not much point using that. So Beating Heart, Cowardly Retreat, and Flesh's Wig is what you want for Grievous. Obi-Wan, I've actually been told to use one, and that's Quick and Focus. The charge time of all out push is slightly shorter. This one, I'm pretty sure, great, right, I'm going to go through a lot of these because they're all going to be quite good. Jedi Resilience, increased maximum health regeneration. Obviously you want that. That's broken. You become basically immortal, right? This, blocking lightsaber and blaster attacks drain a lot less stamina, so you can block for ages. Give it all out pushes a longer base range, to increase charged up range even more. I like to use this one because it gives me a really far range, and in trooper modes it's really helpful. But in duels, I'd probably say instead of using that one, think it over. Not really. 1.4 seconds extra is not good enough. This one, you know, yeah, you're not using that or that in any like dual modes. Neither are using that. It's really easy to hit the mind trick. Like if you can't use that without the longer range, then that's just a bit bad. So I'd probably say either Quick and Focus or Forward, because using that defensive rush lightsaber hit to deal more damage, if you can get one hit off, it already does pretty good damage anyway. But you get like 100 damage off if you hit one thing. So either use these two, Jedi Resilience, Perfect Defense, and either Forward or Quick and Focus, depending on how you want to play, right? I've been told to use Quick and Focus, so I'm going to use it. Dooku, I've not had a look on Dooku in a while. But first of all, you want Civ Control, right? You want the health regeneration. Broken. Finesse, less stamina when blocking and attacking. Just 35% less stamina drain. I mean, that's just insane. You want that. That is broken. You need that. I got Blind Spot for the Library of Effect because I kind of missed it a lot. But you want these two mainly, and there's a lot of really good ones. This one, 2 extra seconds isn't really going to matter. What's this? Yeah, that's kind of like... Because if you wait that 15 seconds to use that, there's a good chance you're not even hitting it when you're against good players, so there's no point. Balanced Duelist reduces the recharge time. That's actually pretty good, but Duelist already kind of gets off cooldown quite easily. More damage, all exposed weakness, that's alright. Masterful Duelist, right? And maybe the Lightning Stun with a faster recharge rate. I'd say either one of these two. If you can get that Lightning Stun a lot quicker, what's that? Reduce cooldown of 4 seconds less? You know, I think I'm going to use that one. Because my Masterful Duelist doing that extra damage is probably good. If I can hit this once, then that's fine. So use the first two, and I'd say either use Masterful Duelist or the last seconds Lightning Stun one, because I'd like if you hit one good Lightning Stun, you're winning. I mean, you can do so much damage, it's ridiculous. And you already free shot, so using this is kind of just overkill. So yeah, Anakin's a good one, right? Because he's got a lot of alright stuff. First of all, you want Tenacious. You want the extra maximum health. It's just... That's what you want. That's what you need. Right? Massive Strikes, increased lightsaber damage. 25% stamina cost is pretty bad. Okay, that is quite bad to you as a player. But that extra damage is so beyond broken. So if you're good at managing your stamina and keeping a good watch on it and getting away, this is what you want. Because this is really good for extra damage. You don't need that, really, because against higher level players, Passionate Strike is only ever used to finish someone off that is just holding down block. But you never really use it normally, because they can easily get like 2 or 3 hits in, and you only get 70 damage off, so not really. This one is pretty good, but once again, in a duel, you don't really want to use that. Don't want to use that in a duel. 51 damage, yeah, don't want to use that in a duel either. Not good. This one, raw strength, could actually be pretty good, right? Like if you hit that, that could be really helpful. And the cooldown of Passionate Strike, once again, you don't need that. It's used at the end. So I like to use Attraction for the extra, like, extra range. Because people like to walk off, and whilst they're getting stamina, they think they're out of range for it, but you could get a really massive pull, which puts them right in front of you. So you can, use your Massive Strike to do a lot of damage. So I like to use these three. BB-8 and BB-9E, I do not ever use these, so I'm just going to say use the regeneration cards, like, obviously, and then make your mind up. And I'm not even going to go into starships because the highest level I have with any of these starships is level 2. I'll quickly do classes as well, just for the fun of it, to be honest. Assault, I like to put it all into real abilities. Improved Thermal Detonator, I've only recently got on that because I don't play Assault really as much. Recharge Vanguard is good. Improved Thermal Detonator is good, but once again, for Assault, or, this is really just... This is just, what you want, right? This is your own preference. You pick. You choose. Because you can pick anything, right? You could have a flash pistol if you want. You could get the improved scan dart. You could use the acid launcher. I used to use it a lot. But, it's like, it's just anything you really want. I'm pretty picky on heavy since I'm level 124 in him. I always played him. Bounty Hunter's good. That extra 20% battle point increase. It's also good to use, like, I think... Okay, that is more. I thought I was Savage. Press for a second. There's ones where you can get extra health and, damage reduction. But, like, you die too quickly anyway that this doesn't really matter. So, Bounty Hunter's really good to get that stuff in. Barrage is broken. I love Barrage, right? Barrage is insane. That's the only one I'm ever going to use. Explosive Sentry, I wouldn't use that. There's no point. Mobile Sentry, yeah, pretty good actually. It depends once again how you want to play. But Supercharged Sentry for me is the GOAT. Alright? It's just normal Sentry, but each thing does extra explosive damage. Goes right through heroes' blocks, shreds them, can do lots of damage to vehicles really easily, and can do a lot of... It can just melt people. And you get extra bits of health and a bit of health generation, so if you're smart, you can live. Obviously, you can use whatever you want. Once again, not going to pick Officer. I mean, look at my level. Improved Thrash Grenade, improved Blaster Turret, and improved Battle Command. I just use them because it's all improved and it's just helpful. Specialist, I played a bit, but Bounty Hunter for the extra things. Scramble Infiltration because that extra weapon is really nice. And Stinger Pistol because it's just funny. I mean, it's just funny, and Crit Mine's useless because no one ever falls for it, right? No one ever does. Then we go to Enforcer. Enforced Training. Small amount of health for each defeated enemy. 50 HP. Peak, right? And there's not a lot to choose from, so you can pick anyone you want, really. But I like to use this as well. Temporary mark for easier acceleration. Actually, you know what? That's stupid. I don't know why I've ever used that. I'm going to use that one. And then Battle Hardened. Yeah, maximum health is increased. You want that. So these three are probably the best. But you could swap out maybe that one for that one. Aerial, once again, there's not a lot. Acquisition. I still don't know why I'm using that. What's this one? 1+ evade and faster evade recharge times. That could be actually pretty good. You want Survivalist, you want extra health, and that one or that one. Acquisition's rubbish. I've never actually once used it, so don't use it. An extra dash is pretty good. The chance when damage is dealt to you. Okay, that's pretty good. Defeating an opponent using melee strikes. That's bad. That's bad. That's good. Regain health when defeating an enemy revealed with your scanning ability. Yeah, okay. There's not very actually many good for Infiltrator, so yeah. I don't even need to talk about these. You don't ever really use these, and there's not much to pick from. So there we go. That was at 25 minutes. My comprehensive guide to every single star card I use, with the exception of vehicles, because they're rubbish. So if you did watch, and I know I actually only made this for one guy because he just asked because he wanted to see, but there you go. If you did watch, thank you for watching, and well, goodbye.